Hello, everybody. Welcome back here on our channel. We appreciate you. And if you guys have so many questions for us, please connect to us in here in the chat or afterwards if you're watching. Or if you have any personal concerns or anything for more information, here's the email to us, united at aquaspirit at united.com. Today we were looking at with Paulina. Today we were looking at because a lot of the people there like still on that pattern of the one, the one, the one, the one, the one, the one. The question is are you the one? And we are going to be talking about something very important today. Hopefully that helping you in your journey. This is our hope. That long time ago we talk about this, that before you unite with somebody, you need to unite with yourself. But today we are going to be talking about, from our personal experience, the unifications with your own self, how is going with you, and the higher self unifications within yourself, leading to that high level of connections. Because that is very important, you to be unifying with your higher self. Because the higher self can tell you, it can pinpoint it to you when you have the ego problems, okay, culture problems, religious problems, any kind of like problems that prevent you to have the union within your higher self, okay. And also another thing is that when you have this higher self within yourself, the test is going to be, can you practice it, these unifications, with someone who is unified with their higher self? See, here is that energies that the people hopefully need to understand out there. And without further ado, I'm giving you Paulina, as you see it right now. We still here, we're still together, and we're still making the videos, guys, for you. Thank you, darling.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was really wondering how to steer the pot, but not so much so not too many people get triggered, but some things have to be said. And we were having these discussions that it all ends up in you putting your own priorities straight. In terms of the journey, in terms of who you want to listen to and what you really want to work towards. Because many people still have this idea of being involved in a connection and being involved in some kind of a coupling, which is okay. Like, we are here to build those relationships and connections, but it really should be built from the space of complete surrender to your journey, to your higher guidance, and trying to get rid of a little bit your own programming, how you think your journey is going, and what I believe is my perfect coupling in this journey. And those are those distinctions that we have to make in terms of what is my higher self guidance and where does it really want to take me, and what I try to, I don't want to say manipulate, but create, but from the space of ego or from the space that I know best in the current state. But still, it's within our own limitations that we encounter on our journey. But this is a little bit of this sense you have to develop to see who is really guiding you and where is it taking you. Because anything that will be really trying to control the journey in a sense, and that includes any labeling that you want to try to put on your connections at any stage of the journey, at any connection that you have, that's going to be still guiding you, that it's something related to your ego or something that's related to your own knowing, instead of allowing to the universe to lead you towards the first towards your inner union, and then towards the proper connection that can help you to expand even further. So I'm hoping to get some more discussion with the people as well to share their experience, and let's have another chat today.
Yeah, let's have some great questions. As our initial talk that we had, a lot of the people still believe within the one, the only one. He's the only, or she's the only one. And here is a little bit of clarifications there. Before you get to the one, you have to become the one. And a lot of the people don't want to do that. They are looking at what the counterpart, the soul connections that is there. And here is this complications, I would say, within the journey that a lot of the people they are like, why is my twin flame doesn't do this? Why is my soul connections doesn't do that? Why is my soulmate doesn't get in there? Also within twin flame society, I will call it twin flame industry actually is the proper way. It started to inventing a lot of other terms like a soulmate twin or karmic twin or a quantum twin or however in your case is. And they start getting it in this theories and there and situations without properly looking at it here. So what are we talking about here is like listen to your higher self because the higher self is going to lead you and tells you where the things are, how you're standing at it. Is that is a catalyst problem? You should look at it, the catalytic situations within yourself. What is that catalyst came in to set you on fire? Okay, is that is a just a soulmate who told you like you're not a good thing in life. You have to learn how to love yourself because the ignitions and the soul connections that can really getting into the twin flame journey can really tell you so many things. Okay, and you don't know yet. You're getting it in there with this consciousness that you have to be with this person no matter what. Sometimes even with the during the ignition, it's only a one-sided. What I mean one-sided is the same thing, like a one-sided love from one person towards another. When the one has a person's has this love feelings for the other, and the other is like, I don't resonate. I'm sorry, I have to apologize. But you're still keeping it that energies inside of you. With the belief that that person can turn around, or the belief that that person can do things, and so on with this. And here is the situations that's going to be triggered in the journey because you are not connecting with your higher self. When you're connecting with your higher self, the higher self will tell you, this person came in to ignite you. This person just came in to wake you up. This person was clear. They don't want to have nothing to do with you. This person is only came at that person for the reasons of you to look at your higher self. But since you're looking at the higher self like the divine energies, or you're looking at your higher self as a soul within the spirit, you begin to get these advices. But here's the trick. You can easily misunderstanding those advices from these desires that you have. The desires to be with that person, the love that you're constantly putting to that person when that person clearly stated, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. And within a journey, when you started and getting it within yourself and you beginning finally to let it go of that desire, the higher self comes in and tells you, here it is. What is that taught you? What is that get you in the journey? Let me read this. I'll give you information. I'm going to help you. You start having the visions. You start having the true feelings, true understanding. You look at it within yourself. You start developing yourself to be free because you are within this old paradigm there. A lot of the people who are free, guess what? They feel awkward. Have you ever seen a dog how it feels awkward when all its life has been tied up as a chain? Turn it loose. He's not going to feel secure. Okay? And imagine you as an awakening, you've been tied up with all this programming, religions, and so on, and now you see how can you be free. You have to value this and that. Because that's how you connecting yourself within your higher self. You have to be free, but free of everything. Free from personal desires in there first and the more and almost in there. I'm trying to put my words together, but my lips are too dry. Cannot pronounce some of the words, so you guys excuse me about that. But it is what it is. But what I'm saying that up here, if you guys can't see in it within the energies, once you really trust, you really surrender, you really let it go, then the higher self is coming, because the higher self says like, nothing stands in my way. So basically, through the soul connections that you have, the soul that you are in there, with that connections with the spirit, this is how is your higher self there, your own personal spirit that teaches you, that connects with the collective spirit within the universe. This is how the universe is able to connect with you. And it's so important that before you going out and be in the union with the one, and you're gonna know who the one is. We're gonna be explaining this with Pauline in a little bit. You to have that union with your higher self. Back to you, Darwin.
Thank you. Yeah, the problem with those higher energies, higher self, higher guidance is like they cannot really, as powerful as it is, it cannot really intervene much if you still have resistance in 3D. So that's all you can do here. Try to remove any resistance towards any certain belief system, any certain knowledge, anything that you know currently. If you stay open and you stay flexible, you will be welcoming more information to your field because your higher self already knows the journey. But the problem is like if you will be sticking into the certain part of the scenario that was just a little bit of a little chapter, you're not allowing those next chapters to come to you and really unfold. It was like you just try to replay the same chapter over and over, and it doesn't really progress any further. So that's why it's important to maybe step back a little bit. And it always comes to this point of surrender, right? Like we are talking so much about the surrender in this journey. But the moment you truly surrender and you don't really care which way your journey will go, whichever connection will be coming your way, what, even if we are still in this scenario that you have your person in your field and you believe that's what it's the true twin flame connection and it's not going anywhere, just to let go from the sense like it will be whenever it's supposed to be. Even thinking this way, getting to this mind state can help you to unlock this next points, because it's not about getting everything correct all the way. It's just removing this resistance from the reality, not being able to accept the current state. If you can get to there, to see, oh, things are not going at this present moment, I don't know if it's gonna be, it's not gonna be, but the universe takes over because you're giving it a green light. That's when many people are experiencing those shifts, like something is changing, some things are beginning to unfold, you're getting more guidance, you're getting more intuitions, maybe some new events are coming up, but it always happens just after you let go of your wishful thinking. And it's painful because it may feel like, oh, in the end you don't really have a control, but it's not really the case. It's like your ego is not always in a control, and the more control or resistance you're removing, the more whole story you're able to see, because you're not going to be putting the blocks on this road. It's just you're really giving in a green light to those events that are supposed to come after ignition and after the separation, because really this is just one of the chapters of the whole journey. And we wish to see more people just ending those separation. And just ending a separation, it means get yourself out of the state like, oh my god, I'm separated from something, from someone, from no, there is no such thing. It's just, yes, the energy can travel in and out through different people, sometimes it gets back through the same people, but the separation itself, it's a little bit needs to be redefined, because people are getting stuck on this one little part of the journey while there's so much ahead. Once you get out of this mindset and say, okay, well, that was a lesson, what is the next? So that's really, we can do a lot of things. We can work with ourselves and with our higher self when we really put our priority as our spiritual journey, to see what is really in front of us, what is really these puzzles that we have in front of us, because we just have few pieces, but we keep sometimes just being tied up to those few pieces instead of inviting more, just to see really this big picture.
Very beautiful, baby. And right now, since we are talking here, a lot of the twin flames in there, they want to know one thing. Dio, I don't know about the things. I want you to tell me how to get my twin. That was a kind of like an energy that comes in through the chat, like energy comes in from the video. And we telling the people, but the people don't get it. And there is nothing that we can do about it. So the people have to figure it out in there. That's what the energy came in right now. That the proper way is that internal unifications. You see, most of the people that are going out there, as the way we're seeing it, they seeking it. I need my help to get with my twin. I need to be in a twin. Can you help me to be in a union with them? Well, the help first of all is given to you if you figure out the help. Okay, the help right now that it's coming towards us, and the help that is going to come towards the community, it is about these personal unifications. If you are personally separate from within your higher self, you're going to create separations with the person that you are with, because you don't get it. You don't maintain the balance in there, because everything that is not properly in its place, you're basically like a distort energy in there, because they are displacement of how the energies are putting from within you. You're connecting certain things with a certain emotions, a certain ways. Okay, so for example, you can look at it in there and figure out something, and you acting kind of based on that, but in reality, something different, right? But if you will listen to the higher self, this is what the reality is, and that's what you need to accept. Don't go into this lower road. And here is what we're trying to tell you guys, that from personal experience, we're talking here. Your unifications with another person is determined by the personal unifications with you. Stop going around and start trying to find the easy way. There is no easy way. If there was an easy way in there, like you're buying things, or you go and you pay $2,000, you go getting it like wherever, like buying a car or buying an apartment or buying a food, and you're trying to get yourself into this. That's not how this works. It's got a different understanding within this. And the understanding begins to create the awareness of the consequences of what's happening. And that where you find what your twin flame is. When you cooperate with you, with your higher self, with the higher self, with your connection. Because there is no disconnection. And if it is something that needs to be worked out, the both two higher selves, they see it and they know it and they know how to operate. Because the higher selves, they want the best, not only for both the individuals. They want the best so they can manifest. Higher self can bring itself into the material world. Yeah, you're going to be facing some challenges into the material world. Yes, you're going to be facing hard times, because it's not easy to bring the heaven on earth, which is you doing it from internally, from within yourself. If you picture yourself as a tree of life, that's what it is. You know, this way of thinking here, this brains that you have, this electrons that you see within your brain, that it comes in and lights up your brain, and that's how it looks like a tree. If you see yourself and your roots are your feet, they are walking into that. And seeing it and understanding and cooperating with this is going to help you to become the one. Because are you ready for this one? A lot of the people, they are like, oh, I'm ready for my twin. I'm ready for, how, why isn't that coming? And I'm asking, well, when you're ready, what do you expect? Well, I expect my twin flame to comes in. He has to do this. He has to do that. Time out right away. They already have a higher self to tell them what they need to do. See, your projections of the journey that he has to or she has to, right there, that is a what it's called a closed door. You are now allowing the free energies to comes in from the one person to another. There is no free flow. And when the higher selves, they actually have a free flow, the situation is completely different. We can both understanding. Maybe we don't like it, what's going on in the 3D world. But the higher selves, they said like that's the way it is currently. At that moment, what do you guys need to do? You may not like it at the separations the way it is, but it's required, it is needed. And you should be okay with this. And then you understand what they said, that the physical separations doesn't create the spiritual separations. It doesn't matter where you are on this earth, you're still one. Because your one higher self, it's connecting with the one higher self, with your counterpart. You guys know some of the things, but accepting, the trusting, the letting go, that is the problem there. And then when you are in that positions and you only set up unconditional peace to your twin flame, see how the things is gonna be turned. When you have the inner peace, if your twin flame comes in and brings the war with it, they're not ready. If somebody comes in with the inner peace that you already developed within yourself, that is a person that is sent from the universe. You're gonna understand. Then you're gonna understand that here, that it's the door that is open. The universe opens that door for you. And you go out there and you're banging on a door that it's already closed. The universe sees things before you do. They know things that you don't know yet. And that's what a lot of the people asking for help, but they are continue to, they want to manifest their own desires, visions, projections, or their manipulations of the connection. Cannot manipulate these connections, guys. That is not about manipulation. This is about creations. Okay, there is a mystery within this, and the awareness that it comes in is the most beautiful because you're aware of about it, and that creates love, that magical, mystical love that you, but you're practicing, not just know it, not just feeling it, you're living it. And hopefully that's you guys, some of you is going to be taking that and go and living that energy, that experience. So back to you, baby. I think that
No,
people,
the perspective changes if you see that both people are kind of working with their own guidance, with their higher self, and it doesn't matter that on a physical level there may be some separation, but both people are aware of this. No one is rejecting the connection, and they both feel that that's the proper thing to do in a moment. And everything is done in peace, everything is talked to, communicated properly, and there is this two-sided communication that's like I cannot stress it enough. Like so many times we said like it's this is the basis for your connections. If you're not able to maintain communication with your counterpart, don't call this person counterpart, because they are not. If they would be maintaining this dialogue, working together towards manifesting some relationship here in 3D, yes, you can maybe call it some sort of a counterpart, which is still, it puts yourself into the boxes. But that's the key, because otherwise you're, as Dio said, like you're banging in a closed door. And yes, you can do it, like you can do whatever you want in the journey because we are free, but think about the consequences. Like, is it really going somewhere? Or if this lack of communication already tells you something, like you don't have to know more than, if you want to build a healthy connection that is based on proper communication and openness, well. Like it requires certain skill set. And it was coming too strong to me. Like the whole journey is this idea of cycling, like cyclical separations and unions, separations, unions. And the whole big picture allows you to see that it doesn't have to be one person to join you with these cycles. So yes, we are collecting these experiences of separation with different people, sometimes with the same person, throughout our journey. Those people can change if our vibration is changing and our directions are changing, our timelines are changing. So don't expect always to be the same person. It can be, doesn't have to be, but it just, each of those separations, if you're able to accept that and just embrace that instead of rejecting or neglecting or escaping, running away or denying, if you're creating this open flow, it can flow through, it can do any necessary changes it was supposed to do in your field, and you're entering the next stage. So one of those separation examples is this emotional separation that many people have troubles to overcome. Because emotional separation meaning I feel connected to the certain person and I have really trouble, I have troubles accepting the reality that this connection is not going anywhere. And this is a separation that many people cannot really tolerate. Like they don't want to put that into their own reality. And the emotional detachment or separation is necessary in the twin flame experience, because it's like you have to collect this experience, you as a spiritual being, you have to learn to be detached from emotionally from someone, from anyone really, because you will see as you go along the journey that this emotional detachment will be very helpful, because you will be going through different experiences, different situations with your partners, and you will need to learn how to control your emotions. Sometimes you have to neglect emotions altogether and just keep going according to your logic. So it's like you're gonna be learning to mastering those. But this piece of just managing, I think, this emotional separation, emotional detachment from the experience, meaning I don't really care who is my twin flame. All I care about is my spiritual journey, and the universe will take care of the rest. That's the position that allows you to go to the next step. And I'm not sure how realistic it looks to you or how achievable it looks to you, but that's what I'm getting. Like, that's the next step, what you can get to the next phase of your experience, because you're removing any limitations. You're sending the signal that you're ready to do the work, and you shut off your preferences, you accept your path, your fate, and you're moving forward. You don't want to waste time anymore on this emotional distress, the separation phase, and all of that. You're moving past behind. So that's, hopefully you are getting something more to it. That's what I wanted to share.
Very beautiful, because when you were talking about, it comes in that you explained the energies they are coming in as the codependency. How the people created the codependency in there.
It goes beyond the codependency.
Yes.
That's what I mean. It's a little bit more challenging than just putting into a box the codependency, because I feel that this is the obstacle that community has,
Oh
that
yeah.
the channel has to be addressed.
Yeah, exactly. And I see that when the person it's emotionally attached to another person in there, they're beginning to disconnect with the emotions that needs to, that energy that turns from emotions, that turns into a vibrations and knowledge to connect to the higher self. Because the whole focus is not to connect to the higher self. The whole focus is to connect in to emotional attachment, as normally they doing with this old paradigm. And then the energy, the higher self says like, no, it's not gonna work. You don't listen, and that's what it's happening. This kind of like a codependency and that emotional levels that it comes in, because they're expecting that emotional level from the other person to comes into them to trigger them for a higher purpose. That's how they think it should work, while they're misunderstanding this, and they are instead of focus on themselves, reaching out to the higher self, they are going through these emotions. And when that emotion process says like, hey, this is not the person, guess what happens? They cannot disconnect. because that disconnections, and they stay in this for quite a bit, long, until processing, until is seeing it, this energies. I mean, um, I'm so happy that we were able, with connections with our higher self, to sensing the things the way that, and through the communications. And this is a, again, I don't want to repeat your words, babe, but it's been said so many times. Communication is the key. But look at your personal communications before your communications when occur. Is they coming from where? What are you telling yourself? What are your thoughts are? You see, if you have a great communications with yourself, you can have a great communications with them. You don't have a great communications with you. Guess what? It's going to be reflecting because it's going to be mirroring you. But when you have communications that comes in from the higher selves, and the higher self of the one person talks to the higher selves of the other, and they are basically manifesting that energies through communications. You know, those long talks, you can talk for hours and hours and hours, and everything is so beautiful because guess what? The energies flows. Okay, the energies is flowing, and here is a path to understand. Be the one, be within your higher self, and from that point you're going to be able to open up like a flower. You're the seed, that flower energies, your antennas to bloom up, you to see the universe, you to catch the energies of the universe, you to be able to, as I said, experiencing, practicing what that journey is all about. Yeah, you study the journey, okay, but at some point you have to perform. It's the same thing like college, the same thing like a school. You go to school, you go to college, you go to a karmic relationship, you come into a twin flame journey, then you have to learn to practice it in there. And this is what we're trying to tell you guys, that you're missing something important. Instead of focus of the twin flame, focus within you. Hi, Michael. Hi, JC. It is thought to have felt something that's completely different from any part relationship. It was specific person that triggered it and let go almost seem no connections. Is spatial, sad. JC, yeah, certain connections they're gonna comes in, they're gonna trigger, and they're just propelling you to wake up. Some of the people they're only coming as igniters. Okay, they come, they're the spark, they ignite you, and then when you get ignited, you become the fire. But the fire, it is much bigger, it's much larger than the little spark. And then these people, they're basically, you see there is no more connection. There will be not much connection. There could be some small connection in there. But when the two fires and the soul comes in together, okay, this is like the sun. You know, the sun represents helium and hydrogen, which is they are interchanging, intermingle, okay, and the one transform to the others to the nuclear reactions. And that's how that is. You know, everything in the universe shows up how we to operate. We just don't connect to our selves to listen in there. So yeah, Michael, hello. What is this chat about? We're talking about, Michael. We're connecting to your higher self before you're connecting with another person, and about soul connections. Donik, you have anything to say about that?
No, I believe like that's just a new person that somehow made it to our chat. So yeah, we are talking here about soul connections, especially for people who found themselves on twin flame journey. We try to provide the guidance to anyone who has some questions. So feel free to type any questions you may have. And with regards to JG, I can see how it can be an issue that people are they felt this initial spark and it was so intense, and it feels like with with no one else you're able to get to this state. But just keep in mind that the moments when you are getting ignited, probably your vibration was not as high as it's in the current state or at any other state after that. So of course it's gonna like getting in contact with energies and with all those vibrations within this third energy that it's present. It feels like something exceptional for the very first time when you meet that energy. But keep in mind that this is always accessible to you. But also remember that it will never ever feel the same when you get in contact with other or with the next people, or even with the same person with the next during the next encounters, because you're always constantly evolving. So don't try to maybe put it as a comparison. Don't try to assess, oh, this is higher, this is lower, this is more intense, this is less intense. Because if you put the judgments on that, you can miss out, because judgments always come from the old ego, old understandings, old psychology that you have in you. So with this, especially when some new connection is presented to you, I encourage not to be, or try not to be judgmental, and just be more open, just be more like exploratory. Let me see what the connection is about. I see this is not the same intensity, but remember, we are always working with higher and higher vibrations, which are never that intense as this emotions of drama, those intrigues that we used to running, chasing, those not clear understandings and all of those things. Yes, it may feel you very, sometimes it may feel you very anxious or intrigued and another person attracted to. But if you take a look from this psychology background, there is not that much peace sometimes in those connections. So that's why emotions or this intensity is not the best measure when we are talking about those connections, because we are approaching more and more those peaceful vibrations that are more subtle. So that's just for me like a word of encouragement. Even if something initially maybe even say to you, oh, this is not the person I'm attracted to, interested in, it helps a little bit to put this trust that, oh, whoever was presented to you is for your lesson, or maybe to join you in the next step. So hopefully that's gonna be useful and helpful.
Yeah, JG actually he had another comment. I think that is what everyone, including myself, struggle with. We all struggle. Personally, we all struggle with that. I struggle within a journey, within a soul connections. Michael, we're talking about soul connections here, and people are struggling because they continue looking at what the counterpart or the partner in soul, the vibrations, is going to bring it to them, instead of looking at what is that connections triggers for them to reach for a higher purpose. A lot of the people who are struggling with this, they still, as Paulina said, into the lower vibes in there, from operating from, because you're coming from the lower vibrations, you operate from this lack of awareness. You just basically operate it as the karmic relationships, and you're trying to, because that's all you currently understand at that current moment of the journey. And when at that person, you're trying to come up with this so much, we call it, the psychology has this love bombing. You're bombing the person with love over and over and over, thinking that love is gonna crack them down, okay? Which is completely toxic in a way. And that person doesn't have nothing wants to do to you. It creates that, as you said, spatial situations, but it's sad because it doesn't go anywhere. Why doesn't go anywhere? We already told you right now. Doesn't go anywhere because a lack of internal evolutions. You to be able to learn to navigate it. It's the same thing like you graduate high school and right now you're going to a college, and now in the college you're learning more advanced ways, and they are preparing you for what you are studying. Yeah, you can continue to study in there and so forth, but it is going to be a process of learning. And then when you graduate with that, when you connect within your higher self with understanding, when you are free within yourself, there, then the higher self beginning to lead you. And then that higher self, when it begins to lead you, you have the inner peace. With that inner peace, when it comes in as the vibrations within yourself, it's beginning the actual awakening of how to operate. And then it's going to be okay. The first time you may going to have some, you know, it's like a waking up in the Matrix in the movie. You're going to be having doubts. You're going to be you're going to go to this dark nights of the soul. For some of the people, you can go through this deep trauma in there to go, because reality wasn't as you thought it is, because you were told how the reality is compared to what you see what the reality is. Now you have another senses inside of you. You're feeling the other people, you're feeling yourself, you're not acting anymore prematurely. You're taking an account of what the other person happening with them, and you pick up the best, not only the an advice or communications, you actually know what is the best to say at that moment. And then the life is so fulfilling with this. And that's how that is processing. And I want to say thank you. It was a very good question in there. Michael, is this is like a new age religious chat? It's not new age religious chat. Don't connect religion and new age. They don't feel. We're talking about soul connections. They say the way, the path, the soul connections, and what happens in there. Um, so a class on new religions are like evolution, Scientology. We're not connecting to any Scientology situations in there. Okay, if you're talking about mirroring and mirroring souls and so on, that is about a journey when two people getting connected in a soul connections, which is actually in the physical realms between the two brains, the magnetic fields, they interchange consciousness in there. This is like a two cell phone. They have a Bluetooth, they're connecting to themselves. And the brain has something, it's called CHAT, and creates a telepathy. It's already medically approved, and we just sharing our experience how this works in here. So, from which you give your diploma after class, is this what you're talking about? There is no diplomas for this, Michael. Can't get diplomas. If you're seeking for a diplomas on all this, this is like you're trying to go 2,000 years ahead and try to get in a diploma. Most of the people who have a classes and all this and the graduations and there, they have a diploma for certain classes and so on. They just learned. We are talking about from experience here of evolving evolutions of the humanity that comes on. But it's good that you ask. There is no certified twin flames diploma of graduations, and I hope there will be not, because of the moment there will be, and you are graduating. We have to be more specific in the graduating. This is when you're connecting with your higher self, within the soul and the spirit, with yourself. You're not controlled anymore about ego and perceptions and manipulations and the way you think that things should be. You're just living in the reality as it is what it is. That's pretty much it. Jay-Z, I'm not the same person I was once before I met this person. Let go of this person, no conversation, nothing forever. With number of synchronicity, I still wonder about the connections. I am more myself now. Great, Jay-Z. It happened to a lot of people, as you said. A lot of people, even we are looking at in a twin flame community, we are seeing it in there. But a lot of the people, that's what happens, and that's what we're talking about here today. It is about this personal evolution. As you confirm it with this, you are not the same person. You are evolved. You're probably your level of. It takes you more to get you agitated, aggravated. You have more compassion. You have more of this uh, advanced, wise wisdom that it comes in naturally towards you, and that's what this is, the journey to develop yourself. And you said, if I'm not mistaken, this is the whole point of the journey. The whole point of the journey is you to reach that state. And then when you reach that state of illumination, let the universe deliver the person to you. We stated long time, even I stated over the years, you don't know who your twin flame is until the universe doesn't hook you up. But you can't do that until you are connecting with that within yourself. So continue walking in your journey, and then the things is gonna happen. Okay, allow yourself to have a person. Some of the people don't allow to have a person with it. They don't allow this another person in their life because they want that closed door. They believe on the closed door that doesn't work, and they sit in the front of that door, and they're getting stuck in life. Some other people create even psychological or however mental issues inside of them because of this. Okay, but when you go up and up and up, you evolve within the wisdom, and there particularly the stoicism and this old simple spirituality, then the things begins to be much more from within yourself, because now you are open the door. You know how to operate within yourself, and then when you get in with this in your life, then you become the one. You're one within yourself, okay, as a spirit, as a soul. And now you understand that the biggest gift in the world is that the soul that's living in the body have the greatest experience in the world. Now you're ready, but you have internal peace because you have any more worries. Yes, you can have worries about material possessions, material survival, and so on, but that is going to be from different level point of view. You're welcome, Jay-Z. And who may ask your titles? We don't have a titles. Michael, may I ask you your titles and work experience to speak about soul connection, and why do you have this chat? We don't.
Maybe Doctor of Philosophy is enough.
Oh well.
I knew it's gonna come handy, so yeah. If that's what's required, that's what we have, and we are here just to help.
Yeah, most of the people do not know that you're a doctor of philosophy. Yeah, but that's okay.
Just happened.
We never share it. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
I should put it on a wall.
it
No,
doesn't really. Some people think that all the time that the diplomas can really, bring this. While the real.
no, but good points for JG's comments. I believe that's the end goal, to feel more like yourself, comparing to what happened before, how you were before all of this experience happened to you. If you feel more connected to your true version, that's the space to start building your life, your new life, because it's gonna be more authentic, and any other connection that's gonna be coming your way, you're gonna be putting right threshold. And knowing yourself from psychology standpoint, from philosophy, all of those layers, once you start becoming more authentic, it's gonna be way easier to navigate that, because you will know what not to compromise, what are the healthy boundaries, and all of those things. So I think this is very, and it's useful, but also in terms of those synchronicities, I would say they will be your friend forever. So you can, all you can do is kind of accept them, and anytime you see some synchronicities, you just remind yourself that this journey is a real thing. It's like you're anchoring those higher vibrations here in 3D. When you, anytime you encounter those synchronicities, you capture those patterns. So it's nothing but maybe showing or proving your ability to see the patterns, not only in your life but also like throughout, that are sinking through. So that's a good thing, of course.
And those synchronicity, those deja vus, in there, they're coming to tell you that you're in the right moment at the right time in your journey. See, when your journey, you're going up and down, and this is your timeline. When you go up and down, you're connecting with that. And one of the synchronicities that are happening is telling you, okay, you're at the right moment of time and space at this particular moment. And that's what those synchronicities are, is an energies. They are very beautiful when they happen. And then when you have the synchronicity with another person in there, then that's how the universe works. That's how the universe works. And I'm so happy for you, Jay-Z. And here, if you guys have some any more questions, let us know. We just came out to help you out with this because we're seeing that in the community is needed. The community that is awakened and struggle in there. In I think that it's beneficial for the people. Okay, we're seeking for quality and the quantity. We understand where it is at. We've been to the quantity. We're looking at quality. Quality is a matter of more. And I'm so happy with that quality here. Jay-Z, compromise will be the one word that describe my life in a personal work experiences. Compromise myself, and I'm still trying to accept. Now I accept that was me. Now I cannot ignore it. Great. You see, when you stop ignoring your inner voice in there, then you go more up with the true self. And then you're not ignoring, like before, you maybe ignored the red flags within the people. Okay? And instead of having the red flags right now, you can understand why the person has these red flags. Then you can be able to see through those red flags. It's like, oh, but I had the same thing within me. I had the same things within what happens within me. So with this, I'm so happy for you because a lot of the people, they ignoring particularly that path of energy from within themselves, and they are focused towards a person. And that's what was the chat about, is like, now when you go back in there, when that things with the person doesn't work, you go back from within, you do the self-reflections. You see that part that you ignored yourself. You ignored yourself. Now you see it as much better with that. And keep going. Keep going. Keep coming in. Get us in the feedback. I like the way your process is going. Michael. So this lady is a doctor in philosophy, and you, sir, what is your experience on this matter of soul connection? I'm sorry to ask what the community is like a sect. This community has nothing like sect in there. Been a spiritual enlightenment for a long time, helping in the community for over 10 years as a twin flame. Personally, I'm an astrologer, and I do an astro vibration gravitational readings for people. Very interesting that you are asking about it, but there is nothing like a sect here, as you see it. If you're taking it like this, you need to look deeply within yourself. I'm sorry, you guys seems really cool, but they're trying to get your groove. That's why I ask. Our groove. I don't know what you are referring to as a groove in there. It's not about groove. It is about who we are, and that may shock you a little bit. And because we are what we are, and there is no groove. I mean, it seems like you're operating a little bit from this management perspectives in here, like and so on. But there is no groove here. We are just sharing things as the way they are. So, but I like that you are asking certain things. But I've been doing soul connections for a very long time, and Paulina is a very, very much awakened personality with a great spirit in your piece. Please don't feel offended. I just have to be sure. If you have to be sure, you need to look within yourself why you have insecurities on there. I mean, because people who wants to be sure, they have insecurities. But what you are. So seeing it within yourself, you maybe end up in other places like before, and you feel insecure or you taking advantage of situations. While here is a completely different story. We're talking about the things the way they are, and bringing it a little bit more out there to open up the people. So, but thank you. Look, it's safe. It's just safe here, so you're all right. There's nothing you need to worry about it. Nobody's asking you to really do things. We're asking you to seek from within yourself. Okay? There is no like teacher master situations. We're simply is going to be asking you to look inside of you, Michael. Deep there within you, who you are. Because you've done that to yourself. It was a great chat. You want to wrap her up, baby?
No, I think we covered everything nicely. So in case there are any other questions, we can take a few very quickly. If not, you can put in the comments. We're gonna address that next time. And thanks for sharing. Thanks for coming and listening. And I guess that's all. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming in and listening to us. I want to say especially thank you for the people coming in and chat, Michael and JG. The chat makes it more interesting. This hopefully this video is gonna be helping you out, and hopefully this videos is gonna be helping you to rise up from within yourself and become one within yourself. Michael, well, I have, if I may explain, your name is Aqua Spirit United. I was searching for information about the Aqua Spirit United. After the Noah flood, the marine spirits, they told me that this channel was about. Here is one thing. Astrology-wise, my moon is an Aquarius, and Paulina's moon is an Aquarius. And since they're both emotions, they are there. We are connecting within that. Her moon is lining on my Jupiter. My moon is lining on her Saturn. So we are both the growth and the teaching with an Aquarius. And that's what this is coming from, the spirit. Because our both emotions are Aquarius, and that's what we bring this age of Aquarius knowledge in there. But that actually knowledge has been very much known since the beginning of time. We just focus of owning, having, forcing, controlling. While here we're talking about you to be finding yourself and be free. Be free. You don't have to be slave of any other system in there. You to break out, and then when you're free to choose what you're going to do in life. To have that freedom of enjoying your soul, have a body experience. And then when you want a connection with another free spirit and who is unifying themselves, help them out with it. But glad to have you here. Yes. But it's very good. Maybe there was a reason why the universe brought you here, Michael. Very beautiful. Well, thank you. And Jay-Z, thank you so much. Much love to all of you guys. Thank you so much. And come back and see us next time. Okay, guys? Much love to you. Be love. Be love.
Yeah.